Let's talk about plan for the open and what happens when it goes a little bit sideways, but actually in the direction that you wanted. Rivn reporting earnings after market tonight. We're shooting this, and of course they've been under pressure the last couple of days. It's been about shorting Lucid for me. Today Rivn was going to be on the radar. As always, want to start with what was the plan initially, because look, downward trend is obvious, and actually the clean move from about $60, and then you can go back to this double bottom on our daily chart. $40 even, the last wick bottom, of course, going to be coming into play here. And then we're just looking at this bounce initially off that 40 right into 45. You come in, have a lower high in the afternoon at that same 45 level. It also ends up being the pre-market top. So you can kind of see where we're going here. Now, the old pop and fade type of idea. Fade Rivn. There's a couple of negative catalysts that you have to consider. One, Lucid already did pretty bad. The EV space is under pressure. Yet nickel price is going crazy, which is putting pressure on all of the EV makers. So all of these things lead to want to have that short, and 45 is the first level. Fast forward to the 5-minute to the 1-minute chart here, and you're consolidating in front of 45. Now this pop, a lot of times when this happens at 9:30, it's the go-to setup. Like you get a 9:30 pop, it's the pop and fade. But it drops and just starts falling before the market opens up. Now, when you're looking to make a trade off that open, when volume comes in there, a lot of times this can happen and it just gets going. So the question I ask myself is, what do you do when it's already dropped out and you sort of missed that initial trade? You got to go back to the drawing board, assess it. At this particular point, I was able to get into a Lucid short, so I did have exposure and was able to make a winner somewhere, but what to do with Rivn? And then fast forward to go back and zoom out on your daily, or you could have just pulled up a 15 or even a 60-minute chart, and you would have seen a decent little double bottom the day before. There's a little bit of chop through it, but as long as you're willing to look at the yesterday's action, the day before action, at that same open, you would see that 43 hold up. Not a great level when you look at that time frame, but you're looking for a place where you can enter, and it just so happens that that first consolidation occurs at 43. So now you have two reasons to like that 43 price. Fortunately enough, Rivn's going to come back in and give a test at that level at this time, but the only thing I did wrong was not going back to the well for the original target at 40 even. So I'm going to get in. Reason to get in, let it fail off that price, and you get the rollover style trade. Let myself get shaken out by the futures, and from there, the only thing to think about is 40. As a day trader, a lot of times you look at a level like that, it's a hard double bottom. The first time it tests, first not second, first time it tests, I'm almost always going to want a trade off of that kind of a low. Size at the bottom, buyers coming in, shorts covering. It's not that it works every single time, but sometimes it's about risk to reward with a trade like this. You're often able to get something along the lines of a 0.5, a 10, sometimes even a 1 or 0.2 to the long side, and then you're just looking to play the bounce right back into the original range. So there is no holding on, oh yeah, Rivn's made a bottom, it's going to go back up to 43. No, none of that nonsense. It's 40, trying to get it back to that 40, 50 area. Sometimes you'll get a pop maybe to 41. You can hold on to a few extra shares. But it's about understanding that once your original plan and what you really wanted to have happen does not, and that's that short off of 45, what can you do next? All you can do is evaluate where the stock is. Can you make a trade from that point on and then execute that trade? You're not going to get 45 at that point. It's not going to happen for you. So you can only really trade off that 43. It was there, and then we get that 40 trade as well. Sometimes you've got to be able to go back to the drawing board. When in doubt, zoom out. Don't get frustrated. Make a new plan.